Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta. Get that on there, right? Oh, there you go. Yeah, look at that. Got my Golden Panther.
Ooh, someone
Golden
went to
Panther
Max
beer.
or somewhere else. Or
Mine. I got mine from the Publix in somewhere else.
Or Publix.
Someone tagged us in a post. The Publix by my house had it as well. So I went to Publix today because it's closer than Max and got my my Golden Panther. My first sip. Just cracked it open.
I left work a little later than I wanted to today, and I was sitting in traffic on Peachtree and was like, you know what? I want to go straight home, and I'll swing by Publix and see if they've got any.
There you go.
And they did.
All right.
Sweet.
I feel
Does it taste better than the regular one you had?
1,000,000,000% better.
Okay.
It is absolutely this regular local gold they have tastes like absolute horse piss. Do not drink it. Actually, I guess it's buffalo piss because they got a buffalo on the can.
So it's not the same beer? Is that what you're saying? It's probably not the same beer?
No, it's you know how like when you put when you put like a Sony label on a TV, it becomes instantly more expensive than like a TV that's like, Insignia or whatever.
No, I didn't know that.
You put a Tesla label on a Toyota truck. It's a Tesla.
You put a Panther head on a beer and it tastes so much better.
Amazing.
I gotcha. I was not picking up what you were putting down.
Are we gonna have any of this beer on Saturday at the tailgate?
We should. We are expected to have it.
Limited quantities.
It was told to me by Mac, our sponsor, that we will have plenty of Golden Panther on hand.
Awesome.
So, hails to the Yayas. So
yep.
Yeah.
Accelerate that booze.
Free for patrons. So just come in, sign up, and drink our booze.
There we go. Well, I'll post on social media where we actually officially get set up on Saturday because, guys, we made it. It's week 1. Football season's back.
It's football season.
We had a football
game.
We had football games last week. We watched football games together. Right? Tim, you weren't there, but Ryan and I were there together, and we watched college football games that counted and mattered. We get to scout out this team that we're playing. This who is this? They're local, right? It's a local team we're playing.
Local team, yeah.
Local team. They're
Clark Atlanta.
New.
Clark Atlanta. No.
Clark, yeah, it's something around there. Yeah, it's the Atlanta Technical School or something like that.
I think they've been around for a while, but they're just now starting their football program. So
they're just now getting started. So excellent.
They got a lot.
They definitely don't have any national championships in their history. None.
Yeah, no, they're not like that kind of. Well, it's like a Division II thing or something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Back in yesteryear, days of yore. Yeah, so we just got finished talking to Rec Talk. That was a great conversation about Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets, and what we can expect out of the team. I really enjoyed that. It's one of our College Huddle affiliate podcasts, so that was a lot of fun. Check that out.
I gotta tell you guys though, just not what I would expect out of a Georgia Tech any kind of anything,
Well, until the end of it, when he said that when he started school, he was traveling from Dahlonega down to Tech, and I was like, okay, yeah, now I understand.
Now I don't check those boxes. Yeah.
Well, so basically, he's Georgia State. He just went to the wrong school.
Well, he said he applied to State. He just ended up going to Tech. Yeah.
He just should have kept on driving just a little bit long, just a mile more.
Well, he said he took MARTA, just take a couple extra stops, don't get off at North Avenue. Just keep on going down, It's only like what, three more stops to get
I did that often.
Because you don't actually take the transfer to Georgia State Station. You get off at 5 Points and you walk over because that's
what you do.
If it's raining, you might get on the east-west just to save yourself a little bit of walking in the rain. But
it never works out in your favor when you transfer. Never.
Nah.
Almost all of my classes at the end of my career were at Adderhold. So 5 Points made more sense. But that first time I ever took MARTA, I was like the dumb OTP kid and didn't know any better. So I saw Georgia State Station. So I was just standing there.
That's where I go.
I was standing there, whatever, and a girl goes by. She's like, "Hey, David," and she's like in the class that I'm going to, and she's just walking up the stairs to get out of the 5 Point Station to walk over, and I'm like,
"Oh, well, I should follow you."
I'm an idiot. Well, yeah, but then I can't follow a girl because I'm, I already look weird, and then that makes it weirder. But all right,
you think it's weird.
I was a little surprised by Rec Talk. Weren't you surprised, guys? I mean, like he came on, he kind of sounded like us a little bit. Like, I don't know, I feel a little worried. I'm like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Why are you talking?
Yeah.
You just beat Florida State. Now, to be fair, I watched the game too here and there a little bit. I know you guys were at the bar watching it, or Manny's restaurant bar. What was your thought? Is it Florida State is not as good this year and Georgia Tech is better? Is it what is it? Where do you put Georgia Tech? Because it's one game.
Tim, I'm gonna level with you. When
what game?
Ryan and I were at that bar, we were doing a lot of drinking and a lot of talking and having a lot of good time. And sometimes someone would remind us that there's a football game on. And we go,
you know what I did watch though was they have a good running game for sure.
They do
100%. They've got a good running game. And I think in our interview we talked about it a little bit. He's blaming the offensive line, so I guess they've got a good offensive line. And that could be pretty terrible for us, but we'll see. We'll just have to see. I made the point during the interview that we just have no idea what our team looks like. So, if our defense does the job that Del McGee's saying they're going to do, right? Like we're going to have chaos and have all this other stuff. Like we could be really good, but who knows?
So I do have the luxury of when I'm not at a bar and when I'm not drinking, I do have this amazing power of being able to read. And so I was reading about the game. And
yay, David.
Yeah, I did research. And there's not a lot to it. This actually was a pretty simple game. Georgia Tech was able to confuse the defense with the way they set up their offensive line and did some things that kind of keep them guessing, make them curious on defense. And they pounded the ball down their throats. I mean, you say that it was less than 200 yards rushing, I think, overall. So it wasn't like huge, but it was enough to get the job done. The weird stat that came out after the game that really stood out to me was there were 14 possessions in the game, 7 on each side, 7 drives. Each team only had 7. That seems so incredibly low to me. Like that's
long drives and no points.
Yeah.
They were running
to finish 24-21. That's
right.
It's a weird game, but they're gonna. It looks like they're going to try to pound the ball down our throats. Yeah. So we'll get a true test. I guess everybody was looking at this team and be like, what kind of offensive line are we going to have? What kind of defensive line are we going to have? Because it looks like that's what we're going to need to stop them. And, not to give everything away that Rec Talk was talking about, but, their quarterback, if we can contain him, we get a better shot, protecting the pass. It's when he gets out, out of the pocket where he becomes more deadly or more dangerous with passing the ball. So I don't know. Well,
I hope,
Ryan, you said this tonight as well. I'm sorry, Tim, I didn't mean to interrupt, but we have no idea. We can't talk about what our team is good at. We can't talk about what our team is bad at.
No clue.
No. We have no idea.
We know we have a team. We have that part down, right? There is a depth chart. It looks confusing. It's got a lot of oars everywhere. Should just put some infinity symbols next to some of the names and call it a day. But I think if we can contain Haynes King and not let him outside of the pocket, just pressure him so he's uncomfortable. Maybe he'll throw some unforced errors and we'll get a nice pick 6 somewhere on the game. And then you could say wow, Georgia State's playing better than Florida State. You could.
Oh yeah. The transitive property, right? Yeah, I think the things that we do know is looking at this depth chart that just came out is we knew that we have a big team. We have a bigger team than we've had in the past. We have a more talented team than we've ever had. Objectively, the most talented team that's ever been put together for Georgia State. But how it comes together, so here's what we know. Del McGee is a fantastic recruiter. Del McGee is great at talking to people and promoting the brand of Georgia State. That's evident in what the NIL has been able to do under his short term here. The only question mark left on Del McGee is what kind of actual football coach is he? And we're going to find that out come 8 o'clock in Midtown Atlanta.
Well, and we know there's going to be no rust because it's going to be shiny and new. But will there be gel?
Crystal gel.
We just don't know if there's going to be gel or not.
We'll see.
We're rust free, but did we lube up?
Well, we'd be very lubed up if we're rust free.
There cannot be too much lube. Lube cannot be overstated. The importance of the gel. All right. Well, so it's going to be pretty good conditions for the game. It's an 8:00 game in September or July or what month is it? I almost said
August.
Yeah, 8:00 kick. I'm not going to give a shit what conditions are like. I'm not going to ruin this game. We're going to have to rewatch the game the next day.
We're going to be fueled by 8:00.
Lots of Golden Panthers.
10-second football game of the he'll have tailgated twice.
Yeah, you're gonna be. I want to talk to you come Sunday morning, Tim. You're gonna have a rough day. You're gonna have a rough day.
The double tailgate's tough. I'm gonna say it. It's very tough.
Oh, but I bet you'll do it.
You could single tailgate with us, and then take a break from tailgating and go to the Georgia Clemson game, and then just come back to the tailgate.
David's not going to be there by a kick.
I'm best case noon 1 o'clock. I gotta do the dad duties, and
someone's got to do them.
I'll be Dragon Con parading with the kiddos.
Dude,
what time's the parade?
Parade starts at 10 a.m. and we will be towards
early.
I thought it was like 8 o'clock.
It's always early, and I think it's sometimes earlier. But I do recall it always being too early. Like even when I was into Dragon Con, I was like, I can't go to. I'm gonna go. And then I'm like, wake up that morning. I'm like, damn.
But you've got to get there early. You got to get there early.
Yeah, that's spot, right?
If you get there at 9:45 for a 10 o'clock parade, you're going to be standing, 8 people deep on Peachtree Street trying to watch this thing. So yeah. That'll be fun. So I'll be fully stressed out by the time I get to the tailgate. I'll be in need of a Golden Panther to make me a little more chillax.
I can't do Max quote any kind of justice. He said all kinds of things about Golden Panther and how drinkable it is and how good it is and the flavor profile and all that stuff. He used the word quaffable, which I was very impressed with that. I've not heard anybody say quaff except for somebody who is playing like a role-playing game, like you quaff a potion. So
is Mac secretly a Dungeons and Dragons guy?
I don't think so. I think he's just classy.
Yeah, Mac and classy. Those two go hand in hand.
Is it magnanimous?
Magnanimous.
Is it magnanimous beer?
I do think it is for people that are not beer drinkers. I think it's a relatively easy beer, palatable beer for someone who's not used to drinking beer. And then for those who are fans of drinking beer, it's got some actual legit flavor to it without being like overly bittery, over hoppy and stuff like that. So, and it's not a sour because F sours. So
sours are their specific thing. I'm still holding out for next year when we get a Panther Chance IPA.
Well, we gotta hit up the Wild Leap crew and
I know
let them know. All right, let's see. Weather's gonna be good. I actually watched the Brent Key press conference today? From the head coach of Georgia Tech.
What do you have to say?
Atlanta Technical Beauty Salon, and he. I mean, this guy's cool. Then kind of the same thing talking to Rec Talk, talking about Brent Key and everything. It sounds like a very similar type situation that what they got with Brent Key that we got with Del McGee. Brent may be a little bit more on the Sean Elliott side of personality and charisma and stuff like that, that engaging part of it. But I actually found myself chuckling quite a bit at Brent Key's press conference. He was a likable guy, which was cool. But, he said one thing, we didn't mention this at all talking to Rec Talk, but, somebody asked about a specific player being a little banged up, and he immediately interrupted the guy and said, the entire team is banged up. They have a lot of guys that were not at practice today. This is the Tuesday before the game, not at the practice today, hoping that they'll be there by Thursday, but it is unlikely, and that they are in the red when it comes to injuries. So we will be facing what, at least from a coach speak perspective, is a banged up team, which is what we kind of hoped out of this. What we liked about this matchup when it was we got a week of tape on Tech, and then they're going to play a very physical game from a Florida State team, and then have to travel back, the long flight, because they got back at like 3 in the
3
morning.
p.m. Yeah, no, they got back.
3 p.m. 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. The next day. So it's
I mean, I guess that goes along with the game, David. Like they beat the crap out of each other. They had long, sustained drives. Not a lot of finesse passing that was going on. It was just in the trenches, beat each other up. So that bodes well for us. Because both
teams, we talked about them running the ball, but that's what Florida State was doing as well. They were trying to pound the ball down their throats. And I think at the beginning of the game, they made a comment about it had been a little, traditional Irish weather with a little rain and wet fields and stuff. Yeah. So, they were, running the ball a little bit more because of that. But, yeah. It's a very physical game.
I thought at first, the first 2 series where they both scored at each other, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a boat race. They're going to go crazy back and forth. And then both teams just tanked as far as moving the ball. So,
yeah. Then another comment that was made, someone asked him, this is obvious. This is such a petty, asshole-ish press conference.
You were there, David?
I watched.
Was he from the AJC?
I watched it on the YouTube.
It was a joke about people asking petty bullshit questions.
Oh yeah,
it's
my
calm
question.
Down. Calm down.
It was my.
You're not allowed to be there.
It's like you got offended, and you didn't even understand what I said was like way worse.
Well, we were drinking for half hour before this, and I was drinking for 2 hours before that. So
whoa, Ryan's being reasonable. Oh no, he was being shitty. Okay,
Ryan, you and your brain drugs are just too much for me. I'm not prepared for
brain drugs.
All right. Anyhow, this guy says, obviously this is the Super Bowl for Georgia State in this game coming up. But Brent Key shut him down immediately, and he was like, it's our Super Bowl too. It's the next game. I mean, all coach speak.
Yay!
Hey, home opener coming off that win. You have to have high expectations for your next game. You have to have it. I mean, but the home opener is going to be big too. So
you gotta sell it. He's got to sell it. He's got to make it sound exciting.
But I will say, for us, we have been describing this game as the biggest game in our history. So to call it our Super Bowl is not super. Like, I mean, I know that is often said like tongue in cheek, like this is the biggest thing they'll ever do, blah, blah, blah. And it's not the biggest thing we'll ever do, but it is the biggest thing we've done thus far.
Our Super Bowl, we've had a Super Bowl every single year since 2014 when Trash Down South joined the conference. Just ask any of their fans, because whenever that game shows up on the schedule, it's our Super Bowl, which, by the way, we have 6 Super Bowl championships,
world championships,
6 rings. They have their measly FCS flags. We have Super Bowl rings, 6 of them. All right, 6 rings over Georgia. That's more than the Olympics. Olympics only has 5 rings. We got 6 of them. All right.
I would say outside of the very first Georgia State football game, this is the biggest game. Until we play Georgia, then this will move down.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah,
Georgia would be bigger.
Well, you wait after after we win this game on Saturday, win out the entire season, win the Sun Belt Championship, become the first G5 program in the college football playoff, and then play in the CFP. That's
we would owe that guy on Reddit some money if that happens.
Dude,
we all should pay him, give him booze, take him out to drink, something.
Something's not surviving that situation if it happens. Either it's my life, my marriage, my children, my stability of my house from fire damage. I don't know. If that happens, I'm losing my mind. But anywho. All right. Another comment. Go ahead.
Do either of y'all have any changes to your win-loss projection?
Because Tim was a loss and I was a win. Tim, have you
I'm staying with the L.
Yeah.
Do we cover the spread, the 21.5 points? Do we cover the spread?
I just don't want to lose by more than 30. That's where I'm at right now.
So you really feel like that this is not going to be a close game?
I think they're going to pull away.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it'll be good battle for the first half, and I think in the third quarter at some point we'll start showing signs of wear and tear.
that P4 versus G5 depth kind of comes into play, and they
I mean, that's normal. I think we probably will see that. It's just, will it be enough? Will we have done enough in the first half to not let them overcome it? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of questions there, but definitely we always see second half comebacks from these bigger programs. So
they got people that can rotate in and out. We don't have that.
Yeah,
I mean we do.
It's not the same.
It's like
our drop off in depth is way more than their drop off.
Yeah, and hearing Rec talk about, obviously they've figured out something with NIL in the last year to get better players on Tech. Because I mean, let's face it, they were a hot dumpster fire. I mean, I wish they kept Collins just one more year.
Yeah, he mentioned the first 5-star in a really long time, if not ever.
Ever.
And
he said ever.
Yeah. Yeah. He also mentioned flipping a Georgia player, but some of that stuff with the flipping the Georgia player, I don't know the details there, but a lot of times all you're going off of is what the kid says.
Right.
And I just have no idea what that situation is, because I'll tell you, a lot of Georgia State kids that I always, if I see Panther Talk bragging about all the other offers the kid has and they're too good, I'm like, I don't think they're real. They might not be real.
They just put the logos up there.
Well, and I think maybe something happens where there's interest. People are sniffing around. There might be talk of an offer. Kid goes out and tells people there's an offer. There's no offer. And there's also weirdly, and I think this is not okay in recruiting, but there's offers that are not acceptable. You can't which is not an offer. That's not real, right? But there is this concept of you have an offer, but you can't quite take it yet. Well, so you don't have an offer.
You have a suggestive offer.
Yeah, and so I mean, I think these programs have an incentive themselves to make the kid think that they have an offer, so even if they don't necessarily. So I don't know.
When you're on the Sports Center on Saturday, if you got a chance to watch it, probably not. They talked about, Nick Saban talked about this. Basically, some of the schools are getting caught with tampering. Well, that's because they're dumb. If you have an agent, now you've separated yourself from the player and you just work through the agent as an intermediary, and you're gold. You can tell the agent to tell the player, hey, get in the portal. You're not saying they're going to get an offer, but the agent's going to say, hey, Nick Saban told me you should get in the portal. Mm-hmm. Kid's going to do it. Oh shit, Alabama's going to pay me.
Right. And they can tell the agent whatever the hell they want.
They can,
the agent can be it's in your best interest to enter the portal.
The agent can just hand them money for the most part.
That's true.
So Ryan, you asked us whether we were changing our opinion. Tim answered the question. He's still on board with his prediction of a loss, and I think actually doubled down into we're going to get gobsmacked out of this game.
If you keep it within 30, it's respectable. I think.
I ran some numbers, and Georgia Tech is
breaking news.
Is 1-3 against G5 teams in the past 5 years.
Ooh. So David is doing arithmetic. He's reading. I'm so proud of him. He's
it's you would think I was on brain drugs. I
know. You're doing such a good job, David. Yay.
Yeah. So they haven't. I failed to actually copy it down to my notes, but yeah, they lost their last 3 games against G5 programs. But the one win they had in 2019 was UCF by 4 points. Is all they beat them by, and that's a good UCF team back then. I mean, obviously still is there. They're P4 now, but they've lost their last 3 games against G5 programs, and Bowling Green last year they just beat the ever living snot out of them. So. It definitely looks like Key has turned this program around.
People definitely seem high on Georgia Tech and did before the Florida State win. So I think that's pretty telling. It's sort of they proved themselves a little bit there.
And they might be a little too high because they're talking
that's
about.
What I'm hoping.
They're talking about CFP already. It's slow down.
Of course. I mean, you beat number 10 team. You beat number 10 team in week 1. How are you not talking about? And you're in the same conference. It's not like it's would have been us or whatever. You talk about CFP.
Yeah, but that was the hardest game on your schedule. So like you're
0.
done.
Yeah. It's downhill from now on for them. And
they should just not play any more games and say, look, we beat the number 10 team. We're in.
We're
just let us in.
No, I still think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win handily. I don't think it's even gonna be close. I mean, not like it. I don't think it's gonna come down to a play or anything like that. Like I'm pretty sure we're just gonna win outright.
I'm not gonna back off my prediction of a win. I'm not gonna back off. But if I'm wrong, I still say we cover the spread. There's no way we lose by 21.5 points. Yeah, I think that it's close. I don't think this is going to be a game that we win by 20 points, but I think it could be a game that we're a Tennessee-style game where we're in control, and that Tech's playing from behind, and they can't run the ball because they need to score quickly, and then we stop that passing game. I think that's a possibility. It's kind of what I'm going for. We'll see what happens, but I'm going pure gut and love and blue glasses, blue Kool-Aid, and lots of Golden Panther rushing through the veins. But yeah,
I'll find out if we won on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah, because Saturday night you're not going to remember.
What if this game goes into like 6 overtimes? We literally don't find out till Sunday because they're like the game's going on like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, if I do think we have a chance to win, I think, I don't know, things in my head like flashbacks, like we're gonna win on some kind of weird Haynes King pick 6 type thing where we just intercept it, we run right down the field and score, and there's just not enough time for them to score. It's gonna be It's got to be something heroic, last minutes, with not enough time for them to react to recover.
Or like we're up and they're driving down, like they're doing their 2-minute offense, whatever, and then we just sack them for like a 15-20 yard loss or something like that, and it takes them out of field goal range, and yeah.
And then we're like, Florida State, see, this is how you tackle on 3rd down.
Yeah, and then we're now the best team in both Georgia and Florida. Yeah,
I mean, it could be a
subscribe.
That game could have been a completely different ending on Saturday if Florida State had just let him got like 1 or 2 yards back. Like he probably missed that kick. Then we got overtime.
Well, they already missed a kick. They already missed a kick in the game.
They did.
So
yeah.
All right. The depth chart came out, and I don't want to go through the whole depth chart because I don't know enough about all these players. Yeah, we'll go through line by line, but I don't know enough about it. But the big question has always been who the quarterback was going to be, and we got an or. We got an or at quarterback. It's either Christian Veilleux or Zach Gibson as QB1, but Christian Veilleux is listed as he's the first one.
Top line.
He's the first one in the or. We've all been operating under the impression that it looked like Zach Gibson was going to be the one getting the nod. Do you think this is just Del McGee playing some chess here, Tim, or do you think that Veilleux really does have the slight edge in the starting job?
I mean, I think we're gonna play dual quarterbacks, but I do think Veilleux's probably gonna start. I think he's probably edged Zach out just barely to get the starting role. But I think we're going to see a healthy dose of both quarterbacks, and he might lean towards whichever one's doing better in the game.
Do you think that if we win the coin flip or lose the coin flip, that whoever, like if we get the first drive of the game or we get the second drive of the game, that's dependent on what the quarterback's going to be? Like maybe they want to put Zach out if we get the coin toss, and other way around if it's Veilleux if it's the other way around.
I think. I'm going to just say he's showing his cards a little bit. It's going to be Veilleux first.
You think so?
There. Yeah.
You think so? Yeah.
I do.
I did notice. Ryan,
he's a serious guy. He's not going to play around like Jeff Collins did.
Ryan, I did notice that our boy Freddie Brock, who we thought would be obviously this after the bowl game would be the definitive starting running back on the team. While he's not the starting, there is an or for him. He could be RB2.
Yep.
But he could be RB3.
Well, I think three
4.
running backs on the depth chart. They're all going to get plenty of touches. I'm not too worried about running back. It's going to be whoever has the hot hand. I mean, that's basically the nature of the running back position these days. We have been lucky that, I mean, we've had a single person get a hot hand and not ever have to touch it. But typically, it's rotating around, and you're they're all going to get some play. So I'm not terribly worried there.
I hope we run the ball down their throats.
Oh, it wouldn't be great.
Show them something Florida State couldn't.
Oh, I like the way you say that, Tom.
A good time.
You said that, I got tingles.
A good time for us.
But yeah, I mean, coming from Georgia, Georgia likes to run the ball, likes to run heavy. Just run it straight up the middle. Much to the dismay of a lot of Georgia fans, but they play pretty heavy running right up the middle. And if McGee takes something out of that playbook, then that's what we'll be seeing. So,
I hope we're more creative.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Some sweeps. I don't know. Pitches.
We got the running back coach from Georgia, so I don't see it straying far from that.
QB
at all,
sneaks,
right?
QB sneaks, maybe play action pass. I mean, something. We can't. I don't want to see him just run straight up the middle.
You think we win this game? How many minutes pass from Georgia State beating Georgia Tech before
one of us passes out?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of questions about that. We could put an entire bingo card together about that. But no, before Kirby Smart's texting Dell,
he texted. He'll text him right away. I'm sure.
Yeah. You think Kirby Smart's watching this game? He's watching it to see.
He's gonna go home and watch it. Yeah.
It's an 8:00 game. What else is going to be on?
Well, actually, they'll have the James Madison at Charlotte game at 8:00 on ESPN.
He ain't watching that one. Is there an SEC matchup that evening?
I didn't look. Yeah. I didn't look. I looked up.
8:00 is a man. That's a late kick.
It's a late.
Did you see there was a midnight game? Hawaii playing. Oh my God. Hawaii playing whoever the hell they played, like some FCS team, Delaware State, at midnight last Saturday.
I did see that. I had it on. I'm like,
you stayed for that? You watched that entire thing?
Yeah. It was kind
of. Was
weird.
That before or after USA Up All Night came on? So
that's not. You're so old.
I will say. I
was wondering if either one of you are going to get that.
No. I get it, but I was young.
Up all night.
Okay. I will say the key reminds me a little bit of the Charlotte head coach and his style of wearing that kind of hoodie thing. I wonder what is he going to wear on Saturday? He can't wear that on Saturday. That's going to be hot as balls wearing that, even at 8.
He's the coach that had people working out on the sidelines, right?
Wait,
who?
Charlotte or Tech?
For
Tech. There's set the benches up, the bench presses up on the sideline.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had players literally working out, weight
during the game.
During the game on the sidelines.
That's when we went to the soccer game, the women's soccer game, Ryan, and the who was it? Chattanooga was they were doing sprints and weird workouts and crap on the sidelines. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that. Soccer players do that. It's kind of weird. They just go in this little rectangle back and forth, and you're like, "What are they doing? Are they getting any benefit?"
I get staying loose and stuff like that. You get football players that are on the stationary bike, and the kickers are kicking and making sure that they stay loose and things like that. But weightlifting, that's not staying loose. That's damaging your muscles. That's the point. It damages your muscles.
Maybe that's why they're injured.
Well, it should be.
Soccer is just so boring that it's more fun to do calisthenics on the sidelines than actually watch the game. So,
yikes!
Just kidding. Making a dig at soccer, not our teams. Did you guys see that 929 the game was down at the park today?
At the stadium, yeah.
At the stadium.
I didn't get to listen today.
I didn't realize it. I was actually doing my job today. Look at this.
What is
doing
wrong with you?
And doing my job all in one day. Oh my God. Yeah, I was. I didn't find that out until later on in the day. But yeah, so they had Steak Shapiro and crew down there broadcasting from the park. Interviews with McGee. It was. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we've been asking for that for such a long time, to get like local media to pay any attention to us, let alone like travel to the stadium during practice. Like, talking about practice.
Yeah, actually we got some news coverage too on Saturday or Sunday night as well. The Sunday night sports shows, like normally they just skip over us, so I kind of like seeing that. I mean, I know it's because the game of this week's coming up, but I think we'll see ourselves on there. I think they're going to cover us. I think they'll give us some love and show some highlights of our games this season.
I like it. One of the things that McGee said today during his interview press conference that he was doing, everything. And this, Ryan, you can tune out because I know you don't give a crap about this, but Tim, you and I are on this page. One of the things that dealt me, it was not schedule. It was no. I know you tolerate my schedule stuff, Tim, but this is one that you and I are both big fans of. What he said was, and we've heard this in other words before, we're in the best city in the country. Our 5-hour radius is tremendous. We want to build our team around that 5-hour radius in Atlanta. And what you're talking about pretty much is just, all of North Georgia and majority of Southwest Georgia right there. And I just love
in Alabama.
Yeah, right. It's just great. Basically, it's like, yeah, just everything but that trash down south area. We want to like get everybody from there and screw those guys. But I love hearing that.
That's awesome. I know he's not Sean Elliott like personality wise, but he's a damn serious football coach, and he knows how to win. And he wants to win badly, and you can tell he's willing to do whatever it takes to make us successful.
I just don't want us to be too. I don't want us to be too successful too quickly, because
you can't lose that.
If he does give me my wet gel dream of making it to college football playoff this year, he's getting hired by somebody else.
No, he's gone.
Year one, he's gone. So I want him to be good, but not fantastic this first year.
Like win all the games, but like by like a couple of them, just like a last minute field goal.
Something like this.
Just enough to be 25.
Whatever it takes for the programs that can pay a guy $8 million a year to be like, let's give him another year before we check this out, and like let's get like 3 years out of that to kind of establish some history or some actual like media knowledge of us.
What's the buyout? I don't know. If it's 1 year and the buyout's amazing, let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to renegotiate your contract, and we're going to put a $50 million buyout on you.
I mean, dude, just ball out year one. I don't care. Get hired away.
Yeah.
And have another school pay for the next guy.
Do you trust Charlie Cobb hitting like the jackpot twice?
No.
But I mean, it's positive momentum. So if something like that happens, then just like recruiting, like you can point to the success and be like to the next guy. And when you're recruiting him, you can be like, look, you can do this at State,
it's possible.
And we can pay you a boatload of money. Well, this school up here who just hired McGee can pay you a boatload of money to come coach here.
And it'll be great. Bonus. We have a signing bonus from McGee's like payment for leaving like his I can't even think of the word right now. I've been drinking. Whatever his buyout clause was.
Yeah.
We would no, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that.
This is best case.
No.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
We'd be ecstatic if we saw our logo on the little square in the CFP.
Oh, God. Could you imagine how pissed off the rest of the Sun Belt would be? Like if like we were
especially
the first
TDS.
Team. Oh, injected in my veins, Tim. Tell me about it now.
I mean,
tell me I'm pretty.
I mean, because that stupid school that's religious is in that square already. Constantly.
I've seen them and I haven't seen Tulane, but I've seen Boise State, Memphis, and I even saw Texas State on that spot. Brett Murphy said that.
People are high on Texas State this year.
As they should
they're
be.
the sexy pick, basically.
I got us losing there, so.
Yeah, well, we'll be hosting them for the rematch.
What?
I like the confidence there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The only other thing I was going to talk about tonight, we've been going for a while with the interview and stuff, but I'm sure you guys haven't really paid a lot of attention to what the other conference games are going on this week. I think the out of conference is always a little bit more interesting than the conference matchups because I don't care about Sunbelt teams and I don't care about Sunbelt teams. So when Sunbelt teams play Sunbelt teams, I don't care that much. But there's 2 games I find kind of interesting this week. One only because it sounds like they have like no starters, James Madison and Charlotte, and like both teams came out and said like they're like missing like half their starters or like 8 to 9 starters or something. So
why?
What happened?
If just injuries and just injuries and like
that's
crap
not
like that.
Good.
Yeah, but like so, and the only reason why I say that is because I think Charlotte's a crap program. They have potential like we do, but they've not really achieved it like we haven't, and. But I want to see James Madison lose. So that'd be awesome.
Not quite like we haven't. They've been worse, which has been weird.
They have certainly been worse. Absolutely. But I also would love to see James Madison lose to Charlotte to start the season because of all of their high and mighty crap over the past 2 years during their transition period, and for them to come out of the gate with a loss, especially a loss to Charlotte, would be awesome. It'd be fantastic. It'd be fantastic. So, but that game's going on at the same time as ours. It's 8:00. So I'll find that one out.
What the hell? What?
I'll find it out on Sunday morning. Okay.
No, I'm saying 2 8:00 games. That's crazy.
Actually, there are 4 Sunbelt 8:00 games.
Are we on TV?
Yes, we're on TV.
We're ACC Network.
ACC Network. It's TV.
All right.
Yeah. And then the only other game of interest is Boise State at the Trash Down South at 4:00 on the U.
That's pretty good get.
I think Boise State's like I'm off the top of my head. I think it's like a 12.5 point favorite in that game.
Well, they're New Year's 6 talk, right?
They are.
They are.
Playoff talk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. So, that's how we talk about this now.
So of course TDS thinks that this is an easy win for them because
they're idiots.
They think every game is an easy win for them.
Exactly. So I'm really hoping that Boise State covers that spread. I'd probably put money on them covering the spread if it was in Boise. Definitely, but being in Paulson, just to travel alone, I don't know. I think they win, but here's my thought process.
They're gonna be shell shock going down there. Oof.
We do our business at 8:00, and we beat Tech, and then Boise State beats the crap down south. I think this is not conference for us, but UT San Antonio is playing Kennesaw State. They should beat. There was not even a spread on the game. They should beat the absolute snot out of the Owls.
Oh. And they've been really good too. UTSA.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah,
and before what they are. And then I know you guys are opposed to this because of your histories, but if Clemson does pull that upset against Georgia, now we're talking about only one team in the state of Georgia having a winning record after week 1. 1-0 Georgia State versus a 1-1 Tech, an 0-1 Georgia, and an 0-1 Kennesaw State, and an 0-1 Trash Down South.
That'd be wild.
Team in the state. We're the best team in the state. So
that would be wild.
Right.
Absolutely wild.
Look, we wouldn't be the best team in the state, but we would need an athletic department that was willing to capitalize on the wins and the momentum that was like generating in the media, like as like PR, right? We'd have to have somebody ready.
Billboards all over 25, up 75, along 316,
but not at Center Park Stadium. Don't, because we can't be on that one.
We don't own that. We can't control that. We can't buy that marketing. Whatever. They just list Georgia State as 1-0 and has other teams as 0-1,
0-1 or
1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the fantasy world I live in. That's what I will wake up on Saturday morning. That's what I will shower thinking about. I really do shower thinking about.
So what you're saying, David, is there's a moment out there that Georgia State can grab a hold of. It's not here yet, but if it does happen, they could really knock it out of the park.
Yes. Yeah. So this is the it's in the moment, mom spaghetti, you know.
I mean, they did get the Tennessee thing right. Let's be honest. They did a good job there.
Yeah.
Like They projected it. They had all the marketing shit done, ready to go.
Are we gonna have a truck driving around Midtown Atlanta with the Georgia Tech game on it?
Just through their campus, just constantly.
I was gonna say they did such a good job with the Tennessee win that they're still doing it.
Are we gonna put a billboard up of the Tech win? You know what, Ryan? I say you take it next level, and let's actually go back to that Auburn game, and let's put a picture of that being the ball being down,
just
not
the
being
two frames,
not being a complete pass, and like put that up there as like SEC bias or some crap like that. So
yeah.
All right.
I think
that's it. I think that's it. Tim, take us out of here.
Last call. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. We are going to head over to last call. It's been at least 2 hours while we've been doing this podcast.
1 hour, 20 minutes.
Probably have to take a break, take a piss, get some beverages. We need some more bevies. If you like what you heard, or if you didn't, doesn't matter. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/State of Atlanta. You'll get live streaming access to last call, discounts on sweet merch that David keeps churning out constantly, group chat action, best chat ever, and adult beverages at tailgates. $5 a month. You can sponsor us and keep us alive. Just kidding. Become a fan of the show. $5. That's all we need. We'd love to have you aboard. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.
I like the fireworks.
I know, right? It's nice.